So we're underway. It is India in the light blue that will kick off, kicking from left to right in the first half. USA all in white. It's nice to see that the USA have got black numbers on their white shirts. The last time I saw the USA, they had silver numbers on white shirts, which were very difficult to identify. But nice and clear tonight. Here's King. India have never made it to the finals before. Are the host nation here, of course, which guarantees a pass. That brings, I suppose, its own problems, because it means they don't play competitive matches. They've had to play friendly matches and been on various training camps for Thomas Dennerby over the last few months. Haven't had the best of results. They did beat WSS Barcelona 17-1 in their last warm-up game. Suarez bursting forward. Good challenge from Kajal. Suarez, who plays for Charlotte, into double figures now, and under 17, 10 games for her. The majority of this USA squad, 16 of the 21 players, played in the CONCACAF qualifying tournament. There's Thompson. Rembimbas. As Stam should get there first, we'll be able to shepherd that one away for a goal kick. Well, he's been involved in women's football for over 20 years. Thomas Dennerby took Nigeria and Sweden to the Women's World Cup finals. Very experienced and a man who feels geared up to lead India forward. Knows how strong his side are defensively. He's scoring goals that he feels there's a little bit of a work in progress to be done at the moment. Can they frustrate the USA, who were free scoring in their qualifying tournament, as we mentioned? The USA side made up of players from 17 different youth clubs, 14 different states represented in the American side. Here's Nitu. Just trying to play that one inside Thompson. Bit of a mix-up. Here's a chance! Well, it was a recovery from Thompson. And just for a minute, the USA almost left an opening for India. This place would have absolutely erupted had there been a shot on target there. Safraddin is the goalkeeper, not called into action on that occasion. Ball out of play. USA throw. King with a throw. Martinho. Roll up. There's Emery. Goes out of play from Shibangi. Jackson. Goes back to Ella Emery. Emery is one of those 6 new players in the squad that didn't feature in the CONCACAF Championships. There were a few injury problems that meant that coach had to just add a few new players in. Gamero. Well, cutting inside, a little bit of space on the edge of the area. Closed down by Kajal. King. Jackson. We saw a good battling performance from Morocco in the first game against Brazil. India will need to come up with a similar kind of endeavour to keep the USA at bay. Here's Rembimbas, slip through to Suarez, just keeps the ball in play, but Anjali makes the save. First touch for the goalkeeper. The coach who took over in November 2021, Natalia Astrain. Spent the 2021 season coaching Kansas City Current in the Women's Soccer League, National Women's Soccer League, that is. Space again for Suarez, who's just pulling Shibangi wide. Just tucked in the fullback, gave Suarez a little bit of space. Nice little drag back by Martinho on the edge of the area. This is Jackson. USA working the ball along that line of Bimbas. King. Forced to go backwards. Keeping their shape well, India, at the moment. That 4-2-3-1 formation. Shilky and Kajol sitting just in front of the back four. Shilky, who has been playing as a defender, but they always had aspirations of turning her into a defensive midfielder. Big chance for her, the 16-year-old who played in the Women's Asian Cup earlier this year here in India. Is Suarez. Now Jackson. India play all three of their group games here in Bhubaneswar. Navi Mumbai and Goa are the other two venues being used. That's a nice ball played in behind for Bimbas, who's just out wide. Good challenge. India having to get plenty of players back behind the ball at the moment, absorbing some early pressure. King. Shooting chance, Shilky with a block. Comes to Linda. A little bit of hesitation from Shilky then. There's roll up. Had a couple of European tours for Thomas Dennerby to take his side on. They went to Italy and Norway. They were in Spain just a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be a corner. Been working hard on their fitness levels as well with the fitness coach. Knows that fitness is all important, particularly in these hot and humid temperatures here in Bhubaneswar. Straight away the coaches are just looking at something here. Suarez is the furthest player forward. She's the only player inside the 6-yard box. All the other players are on the edge of the penalty area for this corner. 5 in a line along the edge. They'll all move when this corner comes in from Jackson. It's a flat delivery. It's headed behind for another corner. Nitu it was with the header. Smallest player in the team, Nitu, and getting the header in on that occasion. So once again, similar routine. Now a bit of movement from Gamera. They played it short this time. Back to Jackson. Nice little spin. 5 waiting in the middle. Jackson buys herself a little bit of space. Can she pick out a white shirt? Yes, she can. And Bimbas guides the ball into the bottom corner. And the USA have scored early on here. 8 minutes gone. And it is Melina Bimbas who now stands on her own as the top scorer at this level with 9 goals. Easily guided beyond Anjali. The marking was poor from India in the middle, and the last thing Thomas Dennerby's side wanted was to concede a goal, but they have conceded a goal, and it's Melina Bimbas who scores it. Guided in, Bimbas. USA are back on the attack once again. Here is Bimbas. Here, a big hero is Carly Lloyd. You'll all know Carly Lloyd, of course, who's a massive player for the USA side. They both hail from New Jersey, and she recently went to be a counsellor at Carly Lloyd's soccer camp and got to pick the brain of a fellow New Jersey player, Carly Lloyd. It was a massive moment for Melina Bimbas. And she's been spurred on by her great hero, and she scores the opening goal, one that Carly Lloyd herself, I'm sure, would have been pleased to score. So USA leading by a goal to nil. This is Jackson. King. It's forced back to Emery. 5th appearance at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup for the USA. Were runners-up in the inaugural edition back in 2008. It's the only time the USA have been past the group stage in the competition, quite surprisingly. Here they come again with Gamero. Two in the middle. Driven across, it's half cleared away by Panima. Now India will look to try and break. Not quite strong enough on the ball though, Neha. Emery. Now King. Time and space for Suarez. They've got that width, America. Those front three do play very wide. Suarez and Gamero both hugging the touchline. Thompson, the fullback, is also out wide at the moment. Here she is now, cutting in. Gamero. It's driven into no man's land, just away from danger. Safradin's a long way out of her goal. Won the Golden Glove in the CONCACAF qualifying tournament. Safradin didn't concede a goal, the USA. Well, they didn't concede a goal until the final, till they beat Mexico 2-1. So 7 games in qualifying for the USA. They scored 58 goals, conceded just 1. They got off to a flying start against Grenada, winning 20-0, and beat Puerto Rico 13-0 in their second game. Saw off Curacao in the round of 16, 11-0. And here they are attacking India once again, looking for a second. It's Suarez, twisting and turning. Did well, Suarez, to outfox Sabangi. She's done really well, keeps the ball in play. It's only as far away as Rembimbas. And India eventually managed to get the ball away to Linda. I think the ball had gone out of play, so they do flag now. So we do have VAR, of course, if we need to double check anything, if it results in a goal. Yeah, just out of play, I think. Good decision. Yeah, just going back to those qualifying tournaments, 13 different goal scorers from the USA. Rembimbas with 8. Villarreal got 8 as well. Villarreal is on the bench. It's Neha over on that far side that's been penalised. Scored in the couple of goals in that 17-1 win over Barcelona in the last warm-up game. Thompson, Rembimbas, Gamero. Already seen plenty of the ball. Lovely skills again from Gamero. Time to pick her spot. Took a deflection. That goes behind for another corner. India very much under the cosh here. Early stages. 13 minutes gone. Great skills out wide there by Gamero. Came to nothing, but the creativity is there from the USA at the moment. We'll see those 2 lines from India, a line from the USA. It's a very interesting formation from a corner. Zonal marking from India. Over comes the corner again! And the header from Kola makes it 2-0. Well, Anjali beaten for a second time, and Thomas Deneby, who hoped his side would be difficult to score against, is not proving that to be the case at the moment. There she is, the goal scorer, Charlotte Kola. A good header. Another interesting story, her dad Will played at the 1991 under-17 women's men's World Cup, in Italy as a 16-year-old. Was part of the team that beat Italy surprisingly in the opening match. So following her dad's footsteps, Plays for the wonderfully named Mountain View Los Altos team. (2-0 USA). Is Emery. Thompson. USA almost exclusively in the Indian half at the moment. Now there might be a break on here for Nehar. Jackson. King. Emery. Not troubled at the moment, the two centre-backs, Roller and Emery. Was that a slight error early on, which almost allowed India in? There might be a chance here for Linda. She's got good pace, Linda. If she can get beyond the defender, she's all on her own. She needs some help. Nehar now arriving. Oh, that's poor from Nehar. A real rush of blood. She didn't really look up to see what was on. It has gone for a corner, though. So, Nehar, first corner of the game. Number of players from Haryana. Tricky little character, Linda. Good at running with the ball. Well, she got away with that a little bit, Nehar, because it looked as though it had sailed out of play, but it did take a slight deflection, so Nehar will have a chance to redeem herself from the corner. What can India do from this? They haven't got a huge amount of height. That's in towards the near post. Almost have got a flick on and cleared away. Seventh goal in 9 appearances for Charlotte Kohler. Shibangi with the Indian throw. Kajal. Lofted forward towards Linda once again, tried to guide that up towards Nitu, but didn't quite come off for her. Jackson brings the ball away again. Rembimbas trying to bend that into the path of Gamero. Straight through to Anjali. And Natalia Estrain. It's a very demanding coach. She's tried to 2-0 up, but she still clearly wants more movement from her team. It's a long way from the pitch to the technical area. You almost need binoculars as a coach. Biggest technical area I think I've seen in a tournament. Coaches will be fit by the end of this, having gone front and back. Thomas Denaby's been exclusively on the edge of his technical area throughout the match, with his side trailing by 2-0. Panima's clearance goes out off Thompson. Giselle Thompson, the fullback, actually plays for a boys' team. She plays at the Total Football Academy, the IMG Academy in Los Angeles. Here's Emery. King. Suarez. USA have had 80% of the ball so far in the opening 19.5 minutes. Coming forward again, looking for another goal. It's Rembimbas. Angle was tight for a had to check back to Suarez. Good footwork again from Suarez. It goes out off Shibangi for another corner. Well, this is a harsh lesson so far for India. Trailing by 2-0. Rembimbas after 9 minutes, Kohler after a quarter of an hour, and already Thomas Denaby's side up against it. corner played short. Jackson. Once again, Nahar just hammers that forward. No real thought in the pass. King. Still, we await the first shot on goal from India. USA have scored with 50% of their shots so far. It's a pretty good record. Gamero. Martinho. Gamero. Emery. Space again for Suarez, just hugging this near touchline. First time ball slipped forward. Bacola. Better defending from India that time. Mentioned that the men's under-17 was held here 5 years ago, and India played the USA in their first game for the men's as well. They lost 3-0 in Delhi. Went on to lose all 3 matches in the group stage. Suarez. Good covering by Kajal. Another corner for USA. Once again, those 2 lines from India. USA all coming from deep. Third corner of this first half. So very difficult to defend when players are running in deep. That's why India are going for the zonal marking. Another header back across goal, but wide of the target this time. Came to nothing from Ella Emery. Got a good head on that Emery, but no direction. Still looking for a first goal for the under-17s, but Gamero has made it 3. And once again, they've switched off, India. And Gamero, who's been creative out on that far side, gets the goal beyond Anjali. Was a mistake in defence, trying to play the ball out, caught on the edge of the penalty area, and that's the danger. Good pressure. It's a mistake from Panima, and Gamero with the finish. She'll be disappointed, Panima. She's a good central defender, but just lost her way. Gamero's presence brought the goal. There's Suarez. Slipped down the line again for Gamero. Out of play by Astam. Comes from Gumla. In Jarkland, the captain, or an Astam. No mobile or internet connectivity. It's a place that's very much cut off. Bouncing around, and Anjali gathers the loose ball. Here's Suarez. Back in again, USA lining up in the middle, Rembimbas. Kola. Gamero. Out wide to Thompson. All USA at the moment. Rembimbas trying to get to the byline once again. Goes behind for another corner. So more pressure for India to have to absorb here. So 4 players on the edge of the box, 2 just outside. Emery's one of them. Taken short to Gamero. Gamero lost that one forward, just too far ahead of Roller, and out of play for a goal kick. Well, I don't think she'll make the same mistake twice then, Charlie, after the short goal kick cost a goal a moment or so ago. Linda looking for Nehar. Anita. Well, goal. Anita's just pulled up there. Just got. She's just lost her boot. Actually, that was, the crowd levels were rising just for a moment. They thought India were going to press forward. Here's Suarez. Suarez still. Goes out of play off Kajal for another corner. 6 corners now to the USA in this first half. You just wonder what the mindset's going to be of India now, trailing by 3 goals to 0. We still haven't reached the half-hour mark as yet. Jackson again with the corner. Much more height on this one, all the way to the back post. They're queuing up in the middle, and eventually Anjali gathers. Well, that's good defending that time from India, because it looked as though that ball was going to drop at the foot of an American. Just in behind Gamero. Emery couldn't get a foot around the ball to stab it goalwards, and in the end the goalkeeper dived into a crowd of legs to pick the ball up. Hoisted forward, Roller gets the header but commits the foul, so a free kick to India. They've spent very little time in the USA half so far. Chance maybe to loft this one forward into the danger area. Nehar with the free kick. There's too much on it again, and it goes sail behind. And infuriating really for players and coaches and the fans to get a free kick and finally get a chance to put the ball into the box, and Nehar overhits it completely. Lives in the same village where senior national team strikers Renu and Manisha Kalyan live. Watch them train and grow up and learned a lot from them in her formative years, Nehar. I say formative years, she's still only 16 years of age, of course. Here's Jackson. Roller. Looking down the line for Thompson again, who, in the absence of Gamero down that side, looks to get forward. Gamero's right behind her in support. Jackson. Lifted in. Just too high for Martinho. Comes back out again. And another one fired in by Rembimbas for a second goal of the game. And 4-0 USA lead India. And you fear now for Thomas Denaby's side, because USA, we know how free scoring they were in qualifying, and Charlie beaten again. And a second goal of the game for Rembimbas, who now has 10 goals in 11 games, double figures at this level. Well placed, brilliantly struck. Look at that, just arrowed into the corner. Natalia Ostrand with the celebration. And the USA lead India, the host nation, here by 4-0. Just over half an hour played. Here's Emery. Gamero. Forward by Kajol. Only the second chance here. Chase on for Nehar, but that will beat her into touch. Well, deep in thought, Thomas Denaby. So they didn't fare too well in their warm-up matches, despite that Barcelona win. They played in a Nordic tournament in Norway in July. They lost to the Netherlands, Iceland, and a 0-0 draw with the Faroe Islands after losing on penalties, and then went to Italy. Were beat 7-0 by the hosts, 3-1 by Chile and 2-0 by Mexico. So it's been a pretty rough ride for Thomas Denaby's side. You have to go back to their last win at any reasonable level when they beat Romania back before the pandemic in February 2020. Needs to rally his troops here, because the USA, once they start scoring, they don't want to stop. Suarez. Rembimbas on a hat-trick, don't forget. Linda. It's too much for Nehar to get onto. Thompson guides it back to Safraddin, who's been a virtual spectator in this first half. Gamero, good pace once again, just overrun it herself though, but Panima can only concede the corner. One of their more recent friendlies for India as well was against Sweden in Spain. They lost that one by 3-1. And Charlie beat 4 times already, trying to organise the defenders. Once again, similar scenario. Suarez in front of the goalkeeper, everybody else on the edge of the penalty area. India with everybody back inside the box. It will be Martinho that will take this corner all the way to the back post, where Roller couldn't quite bring it under control. Good skills from the centre-back. Good ball across, and Charlie just gathers. Almost dropped that at the feet of Rembimbas. It was a good job she had a safe pair of hands there, and Charlie. Slight miscontrol by Cameron Roller. Jackson. Skola. Had a play again on the far side. Gamero's been outstanding so far. Her forward play has been excellent. Cap with that goal. That quick thinking when she closed Panima down on the edge of the area to get the shot in beyond Nanjali. It's going to go all the way back to Safraddin. Emery. Allowed to run by Martinho. Nitu. Shilky. No foul, says the referee. Forward by Shibangi. Now Linda. Out wide to Nehar. Too much on it again, though. Just lacking that little bit of composure with the final pass at the moment, India. I think they're that keen and that impatient to get the ball forward that it's often been overhit. And I think that's probably the point Thomas Deneby's trying to make as well to them. He used to work as a police officer before he was a football coach, so I don't think you'd want to be messing with him too much. Very clear in what he expects from his teams. He likes runners, he likes workers, he likes players that are going to chase up and down and give everything for the team. Here's Gamero. Drop of the shoulder once again, still going Gamero. Nice pull back, Rambimbas just missed it and then skied over the top from Kola. A glorious opportunity for her to get a second goal of the game. Gamero, the creator, once more though, trying to set up Rambimbas. Nice little flick in the end back to Kola, and she'll be disappointed at the whole goal to aim at, and has got right underneath it and skied it over the top. Let off for India. Charlie didn't learn the first time. They're giving the ball away again. India on the edge of their own penalty area, hooked away by Shilky. Now Linda, bit of a break on here maybe. Not a great ball, well cut out by King. Jackson. Emery nicely threaded through the gap. This is Jackson again, the captain. King. Suarez. Heavy touch. Shibangi will tidy up. Looking for Nehar. Well read by Roller, who just nips in and wins that back. Good centre-back play from Cameron Roller. Gamero once again teasing Astam over on that far side. Here's Rambimbas. Couldn't get the shot in away by Shilky. It's bobbling around Martinho. Rambimbas. Can't get the ball clear, India. Now Anita should be able to bring this one away. Long ball forward looking for Linda, but again, Emery will get there. I have to say, under 17 World Cup, Roller and Emery are probably two of the biggest central defenders physically that are playing in this tournament. Both very tall characters, very strong on the ball, making it very difficult for those nippy little Indian players to get in between them at the moment. There's Emery. Seventh edition of the FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup. USA coming forward again and squeezed in beyond Anjali, and it's another goal. It's Thompson, the fullback, who gets in on the act this time. Well, we said they had 13 goal scorers in qualifying. They've had 4 different goal scorers tonight already. It shouldn't have been allowed to creep in beyond Anjali, but it has been allowed to creep in, and with just over 5 minutes to go to half-time, the USA lead India now by 5 goals to 0. Thompson, nicely done, cut inside Astam and pull the trigger. Maybe caught Anjali a little bit unawares. He was on a weaker side as well. He was on a right foot, on a left foot rather, the right back. And she's guided it into the bottom corner via the foot of the post. And another goal for the USA. 2 for Rambimbas, Kola, Gamero and Thompson. Jackson. Here's Emery. Suarez. Shilky. Just out of the reach of Linda. Well, what approach does Thomas Dennerby take in the second half? Is it damage limitation? They're not going to get back into the game in terms of getting anything from it, but surely keeping the score down to something respectable has to be the main aim for India. Here come USA again. You fear for India's defenders every time they go forward. So they were runners-up in the first edition of the final. The USA, they were 14 minutes away from winning the inaugural edition in New Zealand. They led DPR Korea by a goal to nil with 14 minutes to go. The Koreans equalised and then scored a 113th minute winner in extra time. Here comes Gamero. Better defending that time from Astam. There's back behind the ball, might fall here for Martinho. It's going to be another corner. 9 corners in this first half to the USA. 72% of the possession for Natalia Astrain's side. Very much a learning curve for these Indian players. Of course, USA players looking to emulate some of the big names in their history. Gamero. Emery. Goalkeeper got a body right behind it. Of course, these American girls just setting out on a footballing career. They'll hope to emulate the full women's team. 4-time World Cup winners for USA at senior level. 4 Olympic gold medals as well. I'm sure these girls dream of that sort of success in a footballing career. For some, of course, this will be the highlight. A trip to India and a place in an under-17 Women's World Cup. Some may never make it to the main professional game, but certainly getting the best upbringing, the best coaching as things go on. One thing you can be sure of in the second half, the USA won't take their foot off the gas. As we said, they scored some big wins in the qualifying. 20-0 against Grenada being the standout. Bimbas got a hat-trick in that one. There's Roller. Played by Nitu. Shibangi. Anita. Quickly closed down once again. Just that little bit sharper, a little bit quicker, the Americans. Played by Shibangi. Into no man's land, it'll be guided back by Roller. Thompson forward once again. Wins. Goal kick this time. It was a slice behind. I should be happy, I'm sure, with the first half performance. Natalia Astrain. 5 goals scored, none conceded. 7 shots on target, 5 have scored goals. So very economical in front of goal, the USA. And it might be worth pointing out that India's biggest defeat at this level is 7-0. They've lost 7-0 to the Korean Republic on 2 occasions. They're already trailing by 5 goals to 0 here, and we're just approaching half-time. Martinho. Roller. Emery. King. Into stoppage time at the end of the first half. There is no stoppage time, in fact. So India's misery is over for 45 minutes at least, but they've got another 45 minutes to endure here. Bimbas scored twice. He got the scoring underway after 9 minutes, added a second just before half-time. Kola, with a fine header from a corner, made it 2 to get another goal on her schedule for. So USA, as I say, winning by 5 goals to 0 here. A couple from Rambimbas, Kola, Gamero and Thompson on the mark in that first half. Rambimbas is on a hat-trick. Kola into the near post. Gamero with a first-time shot pushed away by Anjali, and no one able to gather the follow-up. A little bit of a let-off there. Confirmation of the 3 players coming on. USA starting their second half, much as they finished the first. Rambimbas didn't get any power in the shot, blocks in front of goal, and what a poor clearance. It's put the side right back under pressure. It's gone out for a goal kick. A little bit of a let off there for USA, for India rather, at the start of the second half. Nice ball played forward by King. Kola, clever little pullback from Gamero straight at the goalkeeper. It just bounced out of the reach of Suarez. He's looking for a simple tap in, not to be though. So Thompson, Roller and the captain Jackson all going off at the start of the second half, to be replaced by Fraser, Bug and Buta. Bug actually making a debut for the under-17s, the San Diego Surf player. One of 6 new players that came into the squad from that CONCACAF competition. Quite get the better of that, but she has won herself a free kick. So Naketa will take the free kick. Driven in long. It's a wasted one again, really. She's never going to trouble the goalkeeper from that sort of range. Wasted for Thomas Deneby's side. King has switched over to right back since the introduction of Fraser at the start of the second half. Bugger's dropped in alongside Emery at centre-back. Here's Suarez. Pushed away by Anjali, pushed back into play. Martinho can't quite get there. It's going to be another corner. So good build-up play again from the USA. Suarez finding that little bit of space out wide. Pushed away by Anjali. Another corner. Well, that's headed in. Did the whistle not go there? I thought I heard a whistle then. It was headed in by Emery this time. It's another centre-back on the mark. It's another headed goal that's undone India. It makes it 6-0. And they continue this excellent goal-scoring form. Probably the tallest player on the pitch, Emery. She's a long way out there to get that header in as well. It was a lot of power in it beyond Anjali. Guided out of the way of the goalkeeper. Great header. Ella Emery gets her first goal at the under-17 level. Another one of those new players that came into the squad. So as we mentioned, I think in the first half, India's biggest defeat at under-17 level was 7-0. They got beaten 7-0 by the Korea Republic twice. Once of those back in 2005 at the AFC Under-16 Women's Cup, and then 7-0 to the same opponents in China in 2016. They've already conceded 6, and we're only 7 minutes into the second half here. All the way across to Kola. In by King. Space here for Bhutta. What a story it would be if she could get a goal against India. Safruddin's a long way out of her goal here. It's a rare chance for India to get out of their own half. Push forward for Nehar to chase, but once again she's not going to get the better of King. Rembimbas. Forward again by Bhutta, who's slotted into that central role that Jackson occupied in the first half pretty well. Rembimbas, Suarez, Bhutta. Can't get the shot away though. Out wide to Fraser, trying to get to the byline in behind the defenders, and Suarez can't guide that in beyond Anjali. It's a great opportunity. Just hit her almost. Could have easily gone in. Didn't on that occasion though. Stab forward by Kola. There's Kajol. It's just gone out of play, I think. Will be a throw in too for USA. Just going back to Mia Butta, who came up at half-time, as we say, has her roots in India with her father, born in Mumbai. She went to visit some young women soccer players yesterday in this area in Odisha, and they donated a lot of kit and stuff to them, of course, just to help them try and improve themselves as footballers. Lovely little back heel. Gamero! Fired over the top. Great opportunity. Lovely build-up again from the USA. It deserved a goal, but Gamero couldn't quite apply the finish. Kola involved in the build-up. Really tricky character, Gamero. Lovely little 1-2. That was a brilliant back heel, and that deserved a goal, you have to say. That would have been one of the goals of the tournament so far. Early days, I know. But Gamero has been a threat all night for the USA. Has a goal already. Almost comes to Gamero once again. Stamped out by Kajal. Suda. Well challenged by Butta, who's taken over the captain's armband in the second half as well from Jackson. Angle ball again out to Gamero, finding plenty of space. They all seem to pick out a white shirt, the USA. Kola on a forward run, that has to be a penalty, and the referee points to the spot. And a chance for the USA to get another goal. Their pace has caused all the problems once again. Kajal came across and made the challenge, and it will be a penalty. VAR will just double check, I'm sure, to make sure there was contact, but it seemed fairly straightforward. Yeah, clear penalty. Yeah, Kola taken out by Kajal, and a penalty to the USA, and a chance to get a 7th goal. If they score, it could equal India's highest defeat. It's going to be Taylor Suarez to take the penalty. 2 goals in 9 appearances up to today. Referee will just be watching on for encroachment as well. Suarez against Anjali. This to put the USA into a 7-0 lead against the hosts. Up she comes, rolled into the bottom corner, very coolly done by Taylor Suarez. And the USA continue their dominance of this game. Disappointing for India in their debut in the competition, but they're up against a very, very good side. And Charlie guessed right, but he was placed well out of her reach. And that equals India's highest defeat at under-17 level. Always a different level, of course, when you get up to World Cup standard. Bug just overhits the pass towards Suarez. Coming up to an hour played, I don't think India's misery is going to be over just yet. Well read again by King. King's out of position, there might be a chance here for India to get forward. This is Nehar. Oh, King's done brilliantly to get back. Great turn of pace from the fullback, Savannah King. Another player that featured predominantly in that CONCACAF qualifying campaign, making her 10th appearance for the under-17s tonight. A bit of cramp for King. Well, he's probably at a bit of a loss what to do at the moment, Thomas Dennerby, trying to discuss with his coaching staff as to where they go from here. USA play Brazil in their next match. That's undoubtedly the game of the group, while India will take on Morocco, who gave a good account of themselves this afternoon in the first match. Full of energy, full of life, and disappointed to have come away with nothing from that game. 3 days' time those games will be played. Another double header here in Bhubaneswar. India about to make another change. This is going to be USA's biggest win at a World Cup finals, by the way. Their previous best was 6-1 over Paraguay in 2016. So the lead here currently by 7-0. Gamero. Kola. Butta went for the curler. Wonderful finish. Well, she's got her roots in India, and she's put another knife to the heart of the host nation. The half-time substitute, Mia Butta, gets her 3rd goal for the national team. She's just enrolled from, or she's just graduated from high school. She'll enroll at Stanford University in January. But she's putting herself on the map here in footballing terms. Brilliantly curled beyond Anjali. And the USA lead 8-0. And India's under-17s are heading for their biggest ever defeat. Not the way they wanted to start the tournament. So substitute for India. Shell just come on and Linda's gone off. So Shailja, who another player that hails from Haryana. She's got good shooting ability. She had a tendency to be in the right place at the right time. That's never been more needed for India, you feel here. USA did beat Gambia 6-0 in Azerbaijan. That was their previous biggest win, not that win over Paraguay. Paraguay did get a goal, so 8-0 is clear and away their biggest, but they haven't finished yet. We've got a long way to go here. Still got 26.5 minutes left. Here's Kola. Rembimbas on a hat-trick, don't forget. Suarez trying to nod that back across goal. Still it's not cleared, and on the turn, fired over the top by Rembimbas. That's all go in terms of goal scoring. It's all going in the one end at the moment. Well, there's Linda, who came off, scored a hat-trick in that last game, the 17-1 win over Barcelona, or WSS Barcelona rather, but hasn't really had much to cheer about here today. It's been a tough baptism into a World Cup for India, and it's not over yet. USA coming forward once again. King. Stabbed out of play, it'll be a goal kick. In fact, the offside flag went up. There's a late flag on this near side. Sliced out of play again by Anjalia. Kicking's not been the best tonight. Was involved in that incident that gave away the third goal, of course, when Onyeka Gamero quickly closed down on the edge of the area. Buta. Gamero. Long ball over the top, Suda on the chase. Guided back to Safruddin. Suda getting far furthest forward than we've seen most Indian players so far in the match, but still couldn't cope with anything. Gamero. Emery and King. It's given away to Kajol. Kajol scored the only goal when they travelled to Italy in that torneo back in June. They'd settle for a goal from anywhere at the moment just to give them a little bit of a boost. Gamero hoisted across, Suarez arriving at the back post, didn't make contact. Go for a goal kick. It's been a comfortable start for Natalia Astrain. India about to make their final change. It's going to be Varshika that's coming on. USA have cut out everything going forward. Buta back to Emery. There's King. And Nita is going to be the player that makes way. This is Suarez. Bimbas looking to make one of those darting forward runs. Sanjali was alive to the danger, got there first. Headed away by Fraser. Yeah, they are going to make the change now with Varshika coming on. Anita's coming off. Varshika is the youngest player in the Indian squad. She only celebrated her 16th birthday at the end of September. She's an interesting character. She turned up at the trial for the national team and she said she'd play in any position that they wanted her to. She even bought gloves in case they wanted to play in goal. She's desperate to play for the national team but wanted to play anywhere. So a big moment for her coming on in an under-17 World Cup finals. But not the situation she would have wanted to come in with her side trailing by 8-0. Buta. Gamero, heavy touch, almost allowed Nehar to win the ball back. Gamero comes away with it again. Kola, who won the penalty, looking to get to the byline, drops the shoulder, gets past Kajal. Can she come up with a good cross? Anjali pushes away. It's bobbling around, and eventually the goalkeeper gathers at the second attempt. Another let-off for India. They could well have conceded another goal there. Great work from Kola in the build-up. Rembimbas couldn't apply the touch. It was Martinho that had the shot that was blocked and then bobbled back to her. Here's Bug. Now Fraser. Suarez. Good turn of pace again. Straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, though. It's been so exciting to watch these USA players getting forward. Suarez and Gamero and Rembimbas in the middle. Backed up by Jackson in the first half. Now Buta in the second. You certainly feel that they will be very much in the frame. Massive game to come for them next against Brazil, of course. It's hard to believe when you look at this American team, and you look at the history of the American team at all levels, really, internationally, under 20 and full team. With the exception of that 2008 performance, they've never been beyond the group stages. Beat Cameroon in their opening game in 2018 in the last edition of this competition, but were beaten by DPR Korea and Germany. Didn't score in the process. But there will be a force to be reckoned with here. Whipped in again. It was Martinho that just jumped over it. Quickly in again was King, snapping in at the heels. Here's Bug, making a under-17 debut after coming off the bench. Fraser trying to get down the byline, just run out of pitch in the end. Fraser. USA, I think, will be making another change in a moment. So it's a busy schedule, of course. Games coming every 3 days, so chance to change half your outfield players is always a bonus for a coach. They've only made 3 of their 5 changes so far. India have made all their changes. Emery Adams is going to come on. Gamero chips across again onto the roof of the net. Not too sure the goalkeeper knew where that was. Gamero causing problems once again. Lovely play. Almost floated that one in over the goalkeeper. Here comes the change then. So Adames comes on, Emery comes off. Adames is one of 6 new players that entered the squad from that CONCACAF winning team. She's just getting a few final instructions from coach, so they didn't make the change then. Here they come again with Rembimbas. Wins a corner. One of the 16-year-olds in the squad. Adames won't come on before the corner, I don't think. Yeah, they are going to make the change. Ella Emery goes off, scored the first goal of the second half. So Buta with the corner. India just happy to hack the ball away anywhere, really. Gamero. Still full of running despite these hot conditions. Buta. Kola. Buta. Lovely ball again to Gamero. Just let it run slightly. There she goes again. That drop of the shoulder has worked so well for her. Might get a second chance to cross here. Pull back to Bimbas, whose shot was blocked. Still the pressure on here. King. Bug. Wide by Fraser. Gathered by Anjali. So 3 days for Thomas Dennerby to work with his side, or 2 days rather, before their next game. Play in 3 days' time. He knows he's got work to do playing at this level. Completely different to anything his side have been used to before. Stab too far ahead of Nehar. King will get there first. Kola. Because Thomas Dennerby is the coach of the national women's team as well. They had a very disappointing AFC Asian Women's Cup campaign. They drew 0-0 with Iran in their opening game, but then a COVID outbreak in the camp meant that India, the host nation, had to withdraw from that competition. Bitter disappointment for all concerned. Here come the USA once again. Nicely pulled back. Bimbas, good save, Anjali. She cannot get the hat-trick at the moment. Nehar. Poor ball back inside, cut out by Buta. Martinho. Good ball across, bobbling around off Suarez. I think it hit Suarez and gathered by Anjali. Good play again by the USA, just trying to get in behind India. Bimbas denied by the goalkeeper. Better save that time from Anjali. Nehar on the chase once again, but it's just so powerful, so fast, the USA. Bug comes across to make the challenge. Another throw again, which Astam will come forward to take the captain. Kajal. Bimbas. Still going, Suarez straight into the arms of Anjali. USA could have been in double figures by now quite easily. Forward by Shalja. Good ball again, Gamero, still full of running down this near side, picking out in space, looking to take on Astam. Buta. Space in that central midfield area. Gamero might be tempted to go on her own again. Good block this time. Buta. Another shot driven in, another block. India would eventually get the ball clear towards Nehar, but I think that's going to run out of play for a throw. USA about to make another change. Ella Sanchez is coming on. Buta. Suarez. Martinho. Forward again, looking for Rembimbas, but the defender's getting across. It was Naketa that came across and got the faintest of touches to guide it back to Anjali. Such a dominant time at the CONCACAF Under-17 Championships. The USA, 5 wins in 7 appearances, including the one in 2022. The USA national team are in action later on today against Spain, looking to make up for their defeat to England last week. So Kola is going off, scored in the first half with that header from the corner. She makes way for Ella Sanchez. Pleased with her night's work. Yeah, rightly she can smile. Won the penalty that was converted by Taylor Suarez and scored that goal in the first half. Very good performance. It's a good job we don't actually have to pick a player of the match in these tournaments, because there's quite a few on the USA side that will be qualifying for that at the moment. This is one of them, Gamero. Martinho. Gamero. Fraser. Suarez. Suarez again takes a deflection, and Anjali prevents the corner. Right by Anjali. Seven and a half minutes to go here in Bhubaneswar. It's the opening day of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. USA putting down a marker here to the other teams in the tournament, that they are not here to make up the numbers. They're here to potentially win this for the first time in their history. DPR Korea are the most successful team in this competition. They're not here this year. Two wins and a runners-up for the North Koreans in this competition. Japan, Spain, Korea Republic and France are the other winners in this tournament. Asia have always fared particularly well. Europe with a couple of wins. India throw taken by Shubangi. Looking for Nehar again, comfortably cut out by King. King. Gamero. Fraser. Buta. Fraser pushed out wide again to Adames. Hits Shubangi square in the face, and that will need a little bit of treatment. It was a painful one, but I think Shubangi will be okay. She's sitting up. Well, some tired legs out there on the Indian side now. They've been chasing shadows a lot so far. USA have been superb in every department. India have only had 2 shots, they haven't had 1 on target as yet. Well, he said they were hoping to be difficult to score against, but the USA have put that to bed 8 times. They've found a way past Anjali in goal. Dames it was with the shot into the side of the face, but she's okay, Shivangi. Hails from Uttar Pradesh originally. She's now from Gujarat, which is another footballing hotbed. Good for the Gujarat region. She's playing in the national team. Back to Jordan Bugg. King. And Gamero. King. Gamero still seeing plenty of the ball. Martinho. King. Gamero. King. Can India give the crowd something to cheer about in the final couple of moments? Can they get a goal? Only Mexico managed to score against the USA in that CONCACAF qualifying campaign. They played Spain twice in the build-up for this, the USA. They beat them 2-0 and 1-1 in the other game. Also beat Germany by 1-0 as well. They had a pretty good build-up to this. USA spent a bit of time in Europe before coming to India. And Shibangi's gone down with a leg injury this time. That's one of the goal scorers, Charlotte Kohler. All smiles for the Americans. Does tend to rotate his goalkeeper, her goalkeepers as well, Natalia Astrain. So Safradin, who's in goal today, could well be replaced by Abigail Gundry, or Gundry rather, in the next game, as they did in the CONCACAF Championships. Safradin did win the Golden Glove. She hasn't had a save to make here tonight. It's been a very quiet night for the goalkeeper. Be busier in the next game, I'm sure, against Brazil. So Shibangi's okay. Fans are starting to drift away now with stoppage time approaching. It's been disappointing. They'll be back again in a few days' time to see the side take on Morocco. King. Buta. Gamero. King. Just a couple of minutes added time to be added. I would have thought India will be happy to hear the whistle. Just 2 minutes, probably sensible by the officials, even allowing for those substitutions. Forward by Bimbas. Here's Butta. Now Adames. Shibanki just been called back on by the referee, so India will be back up to a full complement. It's going to be a free kick to India. There's an American player down just on the edge of the penalty area. It's Bimbas that's down injured. Well, the referee doesn't seem to think that she's actually injured here. She's trying to help her back to her feet. She wants to get some treatment. Now the referee finally does call on the physios. Quite sure what the problem is with Bimbas. Here's the incident that saw the injury for Bimbas, still full of running. Well, she just seemed to get her studs maybe caught in the pitch and just jarred something possibly. Certainly no contact from an Indian player on her. Well, been disappointing for the likes of Astam, the captain, and Shibangi. Not the start they wanted in this competition. Of course, Thomas Dennerby keen to put Indian football on the map, but his side have been very well beaten here. Babina hasn't seen too much of the ball since she came on. It's difficult to try and see what positive she can take from a heavy defeat like this, but I'm sure India learning all the time. So Bimbas is going off. I don't think she'll play any further part. So that's not too serious actually, because she's been a key player for them today with a couple of goals. She's putting a little bit of weight on that right leg, but there doesn't seem to be too much on it. Clearly in a lot of pain, Bimbas. They'll need to work hard to get her fit. 2 goals to her name tonight. A little bit of worry for Natalia Astran. It might just put a little bit of a damper on tonight's proceedings. Has been described in some quarters as the next Carly Lloyd, as we said. They both come from New Jersey. So we've already played well over the 2 minutes. We played 3.5 minutes added time. There'll be a little bit more to add on for that injury. Can India get something here? Shalja. Shibangi will take the throw, but there is no time to take the throw. The whistle goes from our Ecuadorian referee, and Natalia Astran sees her side with a comfortable win over Thomas Dennerby's side in the opening match in Group A, and the USA really laying down a marker here. Suarez scored from the penalty in the second half. She made it 7-0. That equalled India's biggest ever defeat and gave the USA their biggest ever win in a FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup match. They went on to add another goal. Collar scored in the first half from a penalty, from a corner rather. They were goals throughout. Adames came on in the second half. Bimbas, who seems okay now, scored twice. She's now the top scorer at this level at the moment, into double figures on 10 goals. Martinho had a couple of shots to try and get on the mark, but couldn't find a way through. Gamero got one. Butta got one after coming off the bench. They were goals coming from everywhere. 5-0 at half-time. They added 3 more in the second half, and the USA are clearly one of the favourites for this competition. They've won their opening match. They take on Brazil next. That'll be a